Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my class. So for today's video, we're going to be dealing with one of the topics for instructional material development and evaluation. Previously, we have talked about already the principles, guidelines, and the procedures when crafting a learning material. This time around, it will be like similar to that, but will be talking about the framework of materials and methods in instructional material development and evaluation. So let's proceed. So, you know for a fact that instructional material really plays a critical role for teaching and learning or learning and training. So why? Because this instructional material really, look at the progress of our dear students or our dear trainees. Through this material, they are guided, and at the same time, it is your guide also as a teacher, a soon-to-be teacher or a future trainer to look into how the learning comes into the teaching and learning, and therefore the material could assess them to look for if they are really learning. So effective materials and methods are essential for enhancing the learning experience. It can either be in a traditional classroom or in a blended learning or a workplace training. So in short, materials are very important in a teaching learning process. So without this learning material, definitely it will be hard for our dear teachers or our dear trainers to give the learning that they need to give. Understand? So next one is the framework for developing of instructional material should undergo a systematic process like we did or what we have discussed into the procedures of instructional material development. Why? So that we will ensure that the material that you are crafting, the material that you are letting our dear students utilize are quality and effective. All right? So these are the framework components of the learning material that you are going to craft. So let's proceed with the first one, needs assessment. Like the ones that we have talked about for the procedures of instructional material development, a material should undergo needs assessment. What do you mean by that? You need to understand first what are the things that our learners needs to learn. Because through that needs assessment, you will identify specific learning goals, a specific target audience, a specific type of learners that you are catering with. And therefore, out of the needs assessment, you can come up with a context in which the material will be used. So why is it is very crucial? Without understanding the needs of our learners, definitely you will not have a sound and reasonable content. It could be either magdodoble yung kanilang naintindihan at hindi proper yun sa kanilang age. It's not proper also into their interest. It's not proper also into their capability or skills. Meaning, there will be errors in terms of what are the things that they need to learn. We will have mismatch. Okay. Next one is curriculum alignment. After the needs being learned already, this is where our curriculum developer come up with learning competencies. Meaning each grade level should have their learning competencies that they need to learn. So that is what you mean by curriculum alignment. Curriculum alignment is it aligns the learning objectives, learning competencies that a learner should learn. So instructional material should align with the established curriculum or training program, because we will see if the objectives are coherent, consistent, and enabling a smooth integration into the overall learning experience. Hindi yung nauuna, nahuhuli, o nagdodoble. So that is the core of the curriculum alignment. It makes the learning experiences that needs to be learned aligned and organized. So after that one, since you know already what are the things that they need to learn and align in the curriculum already, you have your already standard, curriculum standard, therefore you already go with the content development. So what do you mean by content development? This is creating a high quality instructional material, creating clear information, concise information that aligns with the learning objectives from the curriculum alignment and the needs assessment. That includes text, visuals, multimedia, simulation, and interactive elements. In short, content development are the things that you are going to put into the material. In short, this is the meat of the instructional material. So these are the things that our learners will read, will watch, and also listen. Next one is the pedagogical or pedagogies or pedagogical strategies. So what do you mean by that? Writers or curriculum developers have their own strategy when they present a material. It can either they use active learning, problem-based learning, instructional approaches, communicative strategy, constructivist strategy, and all, wherein they are based on researches and best practices. So curriculum developer tries to look into different theories where they think that learners could learn best. Can either they learn from general to specific, specific to general, they learn through communicative activities and all. So those are the pedagogical strategies that are encrypted to the learning material presented into the book or into the video or whatsoever. Another one is accessibility and inclusivity. What do you mean by accessibility and inclusivity? Accessibility and inclusivity connotes with equality. Equality meaning and accessibility. What do you mean by that? The instructional material should be accessible to all learners, compatible to all their learning resources and context of learning. This involves providing alternative formats, captions, and ensuring compatibility with assistive technology. So in short, your learning material should be compatible in different places and in different learning resources that are available to our learners. Another one is media selection. Now that you have checked already the strategy, the content, the accessibility, and all, this is the time already that you choose already what format are you going to use for your learning material. It can, do you want to use it and present it in the form of media, printed material, ebooks, video, simulation, or e-learning platform? So this media selection are basically more of the things where you put your learning content. So where you think that could be accessible for all types of learner. And at the same time, it will be easier for them to understand certain topic or certain lesson or for them to develop learning mastery of a certain competency. Next one is formative evaluation. Formative evaluation is where you evaluate the learning material based on feedback. Feedback from the teachers, feedback from the experts, feedback from the students. And this will refine the material and method as effective as it is. And it also will look into the errors that you see or that they see into the learning material that you have crafted. Another one is pilot testing. After looking into the feedback already, this is where you do the pilot testing. Pilot testing is not the full implementation itself yet. This is where we do, or this is what we do in terms of letting the learners, for example, the material is for the grade 2 students. You let the grade 2 students use it before the full implementation of being utilized by the whole region or by the national or by the whole country. Why? To look for a representative sample of the target audience and therefore will help them identify the issues and fine-tune of the material. So if there will be errors in terms of the information, misleading information, a different type of strategy. So they try to retune the material itself. Another one is summative evaluation. So after looking into the pilot testing, this is where already that you try to look into assessing the effectiveness of the material in achieving the learning objectives. Do you think that the learning competencies match to the things that we see into the learning material that you have presented or crafted or written? So that is what you mean by summative evaluation. And the next one is the iterative improvement. So the framework recognizes the instructional materials and methods to be continuously improved. So through the feedback from ongoing evaluations, learners' performance, and changing educational needs, inform revision and update. So that's why we have some learning materials that are 5th edition, 6th edition, and like that, because it refines and continuously improve the material based on the context, based on the learner's needs, and the ongoing changing of educational needs. So I guess that would be all, everyone. So I would like to end our session with the following quote. By following this framework, educators, instructional designers, and content developers can enhance the learning experience and contribute to improve educational outcome. So I guess that would be all, everyone, and have a nice day. And I hope you learned something from it.